And okay, so that's the first. That's the first. Okay, the second condition for the transition to communism. They have a heavy progressive or graduated income tax. Okay, let me give you a little history. All I know is a little history on this. In 1913 they had no income tax. Up until 1914, the year after, they had an income tax. After 1914, before it, they didn't. So once they had the Federal Reserve, they started an income tax. Just letting you know. That's another thing. Yeah, so I believe it was Roosevelt. He proposed the idea. They never went through with it. He proposed the idea that the richest 1% of the country-ish have 100% income tax on them. 100%? Are you kidding me? Anyway, it's long over. Nobody's even thinking about it anymore. But we do have a graduated income tax, or a progressive, same thing, whatever. What I just want to jump down. Let me see. Well, I'll find it some other time. Well, whatever. Basically, the idea of the income tax and the Federal Reserve are kind of interconnected. And the date almost, says it for itself. 1913 it was created. 1914, the progressive income tax started. But that's only to offset. Actually, yeah, your income tax only offsets inflation a little bit. Here, yeah, let me go back over here. This is just inflation for 38 years. So, that's just ridiculous. Okay, so we started at 37.87 in 1971, and we're at 1080 today. 1080, and that's yeah. This was 850-ish. 850-ish. So okay. So but that's just anyway. That's nuts. 850, and that was in 2007, I believe. Anyway, enough of that. So, all right, so I've been rambling for quite a bit. I could go on. You know what? Let me go on. I'm good at rambling, people. So, let me go back. I want to clarify. Okay, so going back on the idea of libertarianism and authoritarianism and, kind of midline, just kind of statist, which is basically conservative and progressive. Those are, in my opinion, those are very statist views compared to libertarianism, which is the idea of being free. You own yourself and you own your money. You keep your money. You know what? Do you have? I don't care. So, do you have a paper towel or something? I want to clean this up. Yeah, it's okay. So basically, we have progressivism versus conservatism, and you have okay, and I just want to clarify that communism, fascism, and socialism and whatever, they're all very statist views. In my eyes, statist is when you have the idea of that line. You have conservatism and socialism, and they're all on that line. And watch, that's cool. Thanks. So, all right, cool. Let me write this down. Okay. So I'm abbreviating everything. You have libertarian at the top, socialism and conservatism and authoritarianism. And a lot of people think of themselves as on a line. You're either socialist or you're conservative. But more people, and a lot of people consider themselves moderate, and they place themselves somewhere, you know, in here. When in actuality, they could be anywhere in here, in my opinion. You know, a lot of people are leaning libertarian, and they don't even know it. And I'm not joking. Because if you start thinking, you know, do you want to live life the way you see it? Or do you want someone to tell you what to do? And okay, I'll live that way. Okay, so if you think that way, then you're more authoritarian. Or totalitarian, whatever you want to call it. You got, but there's also the idea of, you know, so authoritarian. Let me spell this out here. You've got fascism, and you've got, what else? Communist. And really, these guys are down here, somewhere. And a lot of people relate fascism to conservatism, so it's more like right here. And communist is right here. That's the idea. Fascism is the merger of state and corporate powers. You know, so, and that's really a lot of what we see today. You have the states, or you have the federal government, you know, buying into, you know, the car companies and the insurance companies and, you know, the food corporations and all that. That's really strange too. So, but that's fascism, and that, to me, that's where we're headed, is fascism. We're over here. And I'm trying to get us up here. The more free we are, the less we see of this crap. So, but we also see a hint of communism, as I've kind of mentioned, because you have, yeah, you have the communists. So, yeah, I can't think today. Communism is where you spread the wealth, and that's kind of hinted in fascism as well, but the more communist you are, the more you're spreading the wealth, whether you're at the corporate end of it or you're at the lower end of it. You know, like individuals getting help. And that's, to me, that's communist. Socialism, in my opinion, is just, you know, people getting help from the government, period. And you see that with Social Security and Medicare at the very least, and Medicaid and all this other stuff. But once, if a health bill passes, then we see that we'll see more communism as well. And we can't have that. You know, the more we have the ability to choose, and usually that's with private entities, you know, you as a consumer go to a store, buy something, you made a choice. The more we have of that, the better. The more you have the choice of getting your own health care, whether it's from this state, or it's in New Jersey, or it's in California, or it's in Ohio, the better.